So we left our site and we are headed to Netherlands. We found somewhere and we're trying to contact them.
Soundtrack is an American web television series that aired on December 18th, 2019.
What?
Hey guys!
What's up?
We wanted to tell you a little bit of information about taking your dogs to Europe.
Yay!
So this was the first time that we were travelling from the UK to France, in fact to Netherlands, with our dogs, and we were a little bit unsure of the process,
Yes.
so we thought we'd give you a little bit of information to potentially help you.
In this vlog we're going to just show you a bit of our journey, getting from the UK to getting over to the Netherlands, but also us basically finding our way and learning how to take our dogs on the ferry. And also we'll show you talk a bit about pet passport, because that was a bit of a minefield that no one really seemed to know. It's probably going to change again in the next few months, but this is how it is at the moment.
Hello!
Yo.
So we've got our windscreen fixed finally after 6 long weeks. We are heading to the ferry port with the dogs for the first time. We don't know what it's going to be like because obviously COVID cases are rising again, but I think travel is still okay. We think it's the 13th of August. It is 8 o'clock.
Yay!
We've got our ferry booked and it's all looking good so far. We've double checked that we don't need anything special for travelling into France. It doesn't look like we do, so we'll see when we get there.
We're on the way. We're going to see how this is. We've got the ferry before. We have been on a ferry with our motorhome before, but we've never been on a ferry with a motorhome with our dogs, so we're going to see how this goes. We're a bit nervous about leaving them, and we were going to get the tunnel, but the price on the days we wanted to go, £400 is too much, I think. And we didn't want to wait 4 days for it to get cheaper, because it's always cheaper on a Tuesday and Wednesday. So instead we are going to go with a ferry, which means leaving the dogs, and that's kind of scary for us because we've never had that worry, because whenever we've never really taken them abroad before. So what's it going to be like? What is the ferry going to be like now because of COVID-19 anyway, and what's it going to be like with the dogs? How's that process going to go? It's going to be interesting to find out.
We are at the passport control
At Dover.
I feel a bit apprehensive, do you?
Yeah, we've got the passport.
We've got the passports, but it's the first time we've travelled across the sea with the dogs, and obviously we don't really know what it's going to be like, so we're like, oh, but we've got the passports ready on the right pages. I think they're the right pages anyway. I don't know if we have to muzzle them at this point or if that's later, so...
But then
because they might want to come in and check, mightn't they?
Yeah, French customs were like, yeah,
get through.
Yeah.
Come to France.
British. I mean, last time we went abroad, the guy came in to look at the motorhome,
Yes,
didn't he?
he came in to check the children more than anything, and just check the toilet.
Have a look at the Danny.
So now he's got the children and the dogs to check out. So
see what happens. So we are ready, getting ready to board. Good little trip through passport control. We're just having a juice because it's boiling. We're all frustrated. There's nowhere to water the dogs really, where you don't feel like.
I do think they have a bit, but I don't think
God knows where it is.
It's not really good when you're a little bit late.
Yeah, and when you've got a dog like ours that's just like. Yeah, that's it. They didn't even want to see the pet passports, which I was surprised about. I don't know if they know. Did you have to put pet passport numbers in when you registered?
I didn't have to put any numbers in.
So that's weird.
So maybe it's just the other side.
But yeah, but this is a cool thing. If you've got pets, they put you in a place near... Mate, I'm sick of getting heckled. All my gigs, all the time I've been teaching. Go away, hecklers. They put you in a place, park you in a place near some fans, And if you want to go down, you get one opportunity per trip. You go to information and you can go down and see your pets, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, because they stay in the car or the motorhome or whatever
Yeah.
when you're travelling. So.
Right, so we've got to go. We've got to get Riley in a seat because they are moving now. Let's have a little look. That's what's going on out there. Where is it? Can't find where the bit is. There it is.
Have you got your mask?
Yay. Riley is not happy to go in her car seat, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, just makes you sad. You gotta wait and you gotta get on. But we got the fairy lights on, so that's nice. Yeah. I'm not really sure about being next to any fans. Doesn't really, I can't really see. Oh, mind you, up there. That might be them. That could be it. So, we're just leaving the van now, and it's like properly sad because it's boiling. Well, it's not boiling, but it's warmer than we'd like it to be for the dogs. We've left them some water and opened the windows, and hopefully that's going to be alright. Have to see how it is. Hey. So, Mel is the expert at the pet passport now.
I don't have my notes, but let me walk you through it. So once you apply for a pet passport, you have to have a rabies jab. Not you, your dogs.
Yeah, like, who says you're a fit owner? Look at you foaming at the mouth. No, yeah, you don't need it. You need a corona test.
Once you get your pet passport applied for, they have to have a rabies jab. Doesn't matter which pet it is, cat, dog, whatever. They need to have a rabies jab, and then they cannot travel overseas for 21 days. So we knew 21 days was our benchmark, and we hoped that the passport would be back before then. So we had a bit of a call around. We wanted to book the dogs in really quickly, and obviously we have two, so the price is doubled.
Boo.
Boo. The first vet we called was our regular vet, which we always thought were a bit pricey anyway. £300.
That is, yeah.
I was like, is that how much it costs?
I thought it was like 320, wasn't it? It was like 160.
Yeah, it was more than £300, yeah.
Yeah.
And then possibility of having a blood test on top after the rabies jab, depending on which country you're going to. I don't believe that anywhere in Europe needs you to have a blood test afterwards. That's a little bit further afield, although I could be wrong there, but generally most countries, as long as you've had the rabies vaccination, you've got it in their passport, the little sticker that they've had it, then you're okay. But yeah, so the first pet passport that we tried to get was going to cost over £300, and we thought that was maybe a little bit too much.
A lot.
So we called another one. We tried Vets for Pets, which I think is
Quite a
Pets
good
at
chain.
Home, Pets at Home chain. They were cheaper. I think it was around £260, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
that's for the passport and the rabies jab. Both of these prices include both, and this is for 2 dogs. And I thought, okay, yeah, that is definitely better. I thought I'd just try one more. The one more was much, much better. Wasn't this like 100 and...
It was under 200.
It was definitely under
I think
200.
it might have been 189 or something.
Something like that. I think it was a little bit more as well, because we had to get one of our dogs another microchip because they couldn't read
Oh
his.
yeah.
So the one that we went for, I believe, was about 160, and again that included the passport and the rabies jab for both of them. I mean, that is cutting the cost in half. That is mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
So my advice to you would be to shop around. If you go to apply for a pet passport at your normal vet and it feels a little bit too expensive, try somewhere else, because we are not the only ones that have shopped around and managed to almost cut the price in half.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And really, if you don't need to pay more for exactly the same service,
Why bother?
don't.
Yeah. This is a piece of paper. This is not like a massive health screening or any sort of surgery. So yeah, I think shop around.
just found a quiet place to take my mask off and just tell you quickly. So when you're on the ferry with dogs, and it's one where they stay in the van, you can go downstairs and check, but you need to let them know information so they can take you down, because you're not meant to be on the car deck. So I'm on my way now, mask in hand, which I've been wearing all the time so far, and it's freaking hot, to go and check them and see how they're doing. Hello, so
Hello.
We have arrived in France,
Yay.
and there's more cars on the road than the last time we were here. Everyone's knackered. It is at 11:30, probably UK time. We need to change our clock. But the ferry was fine. The dogs were okay in the ferry, in the van and the ferry. We left them restrained just for their own safety more than anything, with a cool mat down to keep them nice and cool if possible, and gave them some treats.
It's the most stressful it's been, was trying to get the kids, because obviously it's a late night now, the kids back into the car seats and try and clear up the dogs and get them back into where they sit travelling, and get some snacks ready for the journey and get all the windows sorted. There's quite a bit to do in that short space of time.
I think overall though it was okay. The dogs were fine. We were fine. We enjoyed some chips. Do we enjoy them?
Chips are good. The fish was pretty awful.
We are now heading east.
Yes.
We knew that when we got off the ferry we want to head east, and we've got to find somewhere to stay now. It's easy to find somewhere to stay in the middle of summer at 11:40 at night. So we're going to have to probably drive around and have a look at a couple of places. That's my job now, looking at places online.
Apart from that.
Yeah, wish me luck.
Right, so overall, taking our dogs abroad was basically, other than a bit of inconvenience at the start trying to get the pet passport, and a bit of worry actually on the ferry, it basically made no difference. We haven't returned yet, so we can't tell you what it's going to be like coming back to the UK, although we have some friends. They've just returned back with their cats, and they said it was a really, really easy process.
They went via the tunnel as well.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yeah,
I think they scanned them on the tunnel, didn't
So they scanned them,
Not
yeah.
the people, the pets.
Yeah. No, they didn't have rabies. It was great that our ferry company allowed us to go down and check on the animals while we were while we're sailing. That's really, really good, and I think I don't know if they'll all do that, but that's, it put us at ease a little bit. All they've done is knock some water over.
Yeah.
And just basically, they're a bit panicky dogs anyway.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
14 or 15 weeks of lockdown.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah. And then we were going to come back. We got the dogs back. We had to wait 3 weeks for them to be ready to travel. Not like personally, because of their rabies jabs and their passport. And then the windscreen issue. Everything took a good 6 weeks, maybe slightly more, but I think it was a good 6 weeks. We got here, we got on the ferry, we made it yesterday, yesterday, I don't know. So our windscreen was fixed yesterday, on the ferry today, it's a late one, it's like dead late. We were on the ferry, and 34 minutes before we got in, we saw that France has been added to a quarantine list for the UK.
So if that's not a way of telling you to stay away,
it's a way of telling you that the world was against us for leaving the country again, and now we're going to pay for it. So it is now quarter past 1 here. We are about 6 minutes away from finding out whether or not the place that we're going to is full. So we're going to find out whether we're going to have to keep driving or not, and hopefully not. I'm not that tired yet, are you?
Yeah, a little bit, not too bad.
Not as tired as I thought I would be. The kids are both asleep, the dogs are both asleep. It's been quite hectic for them. So yeah, fingers crossed there's space for us. Okay.
Or do you go down?
Oh wait,
there
I don't know. Just go and have a look. There's a motorhome down there.
Over there.
I can't see a motorhome sign currently.
There's motorhomes over there though.
Okay, well just one, so let's see, shall we?
So we've arrived at this free motorhome place, and it is really nice. It's like a little marina.
Good park here.
You can see it. So that's the reversing camera. You don't want to look at that. I'll do some B-roll. You'll see it. You'll see it. It'll be marvellous. But trouble is that most of the motorhome spaces are not. Well, there's tons of spaces everywhere. But you have to overhang loads like this guy. We're just deciding what to do. We're just checking out some other places. It's a problem with motorhomes. As amazing as they are, you never know if they're going to have what you need. What's, you know, obviously what size motorhome in, what amenities you need. You never know if they're going to be full. I mean, this is empty, but the two spaces that really would be ideal are taken by big motorhomes. And there's a third motorhome, like a van style one, but that's a lot shorter, so that fits in. But we'll either stick our bike rack out into the road, which I think is quite a dangerous bit because you can't see it very well, or we've got to take up all the curb by reversing back and taking out a little bit of the bush, which as much as you know, I like the bush, so I don't want to take the bush out. Don't know what that means. But yeah, what would you do? And what will we do? I don't know. It's going to be too late because by the time you watch this, we'll have done it. So we have found somewhere else. We decided to move on because we'd have had to park on the road at the other place and probably would have been in the way in the morning. So we're at, you're not going to be able to see anything, but we found another area which is kind of by a bridge to a river, and yeah, it's quite odd. So we're nice and tired. It's now 9:30. Looking great, looking classy. You can see that you can see the river now. Yay! Maybe. There it is. Best cameraman ever. Just stayed here last night. There's no services or anything. It's just park up. So you need your own. You need to have a self-sustaining motorhome like we have. And then we're going to drive through Belgium today and get into the Netherlands, and then find a nice site where we can relax somewhere with amenities, with stuff to do. But yeah, it's been an interesting night. It looks like there's a nice like sailing club or something over there. I've seen quite a few people over there this morning. I'm gonna get some breakfast and then get on the road. But how are you feeling? We're happy. Where are you? Happy?
I should go to Video Town.
There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, have a nice day.
We stopped off in North Belgium just before Antwerp, and now we're heading hopefully into the Netherlands. We're not at the border yet, but we have found somewhere to stay. And we're going to just take a couple of nights in the Netherlands and just see how it goes. So yeah, we're quite excited about that now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Good to have somewhere. Riley's asleep, everyone's a bit tired and a bit grumpy after all the travelling, but I feel much better now we've got somewhere. Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
Life keeps spinning, no one's winning. Are we ever gonna stop pretending that there's no ending, there's no mending? When is this bubble